Hi everyone, Megan here from Valley View Living. If you're new here, we have 6 kids, live in country New South Wales, Australia, and we are learning to raise and grow as much food as possible. So today, on our video today, I'm just trying to recall what I'm going to share with you. We're definitely making some hot chocolate from our own milk, which has been pretty exciting to switch over from shop milk to our own house cow. I also got a big bulk delivery from a new Mexican retailer that I'm trying. So they supply to restaurants, but they also supply pretty quality Mexican food, some good quality tortillas that are just single ingredient, corn and salt basically, and Australian made. And also they sell in bulk. So I went ahead and bought myself, I think it's 10 kilograms of tortillas, works out to about 460 tortillas. Now, that's not that much when it comes to my family of 8 people. We love Mexican food, and it also makes snacks really easily. So things like quesadillas and burritos, obviously, and whatnot. But anyway, I got that delivery today and I turned some of the bulk corn chips into nachos. So I'm going to take you through making like a nutrient-dense nacho with those corn chips and also our home-raised beef. But of course, any beef mince is going to be delicious in this recipe. Then I also use those organic chicken livers from the food farm, which you could see that haul on my last video. I'm going to use those livers to make homemade pate. And I'm probably going to eat that pate, just me. And I made one for my mum as well. But in my family, I think I'm the only one eating it. So I'll have that for breakfast for the next few days. Farm-wise, well, we're finding our routine with our milking cow. So our cow Hazel is a shorthorn cross Jersey. We're actually only getting, at the moment, about 2 litres a day. We're milking by hand, and just the setup with the milking stall is it's really homemade. It's really dodgy, and she's probably just not comfortable enough to let down that much. However, I have gone ahead and sprung for an eBay cheapy milking machine. Oh man, I hope I don't regret that. I hate buying cheap stuff, but researching real quality milking machines that's going to last me a long time, I'm looking at about $2,000 to $2,500 just for a home milking machine for one cow. And I just don't have $2,500 to spend on helping me milk right now. So I went with the $250 eBay milking machine. So that should arrive maybe tomorrow. And then I will take you through setting that up on our cow and seeing how she goes. And then I'm hoping to get that money back through having our own milk. Because the milk, it's not costing anything. I have to feed my cows, I have to take care of my cows and do my fencing and all that stuff anyway. So she's in milk, I take the milk, it's free. So yeah, hey, it'll add up quick if I can keep her in milk for a while. Other than that, we have our incubator running, and it's been 20 days. Now chickens hatch on the 21st day, so 21 days, and they should be hatching, which is tomorrow. Now we put in 2 dozen Rhode Island red fertile eggs. I love Rhode Island reds. I think they're beautiful chickens. And hopefully we will get a good hatch rate. Let's see how it goes, hey? You really can't predict these things, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm just going to swap hands here. I'll give my arm a break. We've done the best that we can. We've kept the temperature stable and the humidity high and all of those things that an incubator needs. Now we've just got to see who was the fittest and who will survive the whole hatching thing. I'm really hoping for 20 chicks. That might be a little optimistic, but I'd be disappointed if it's much under 20 from a group of 24. So it's pretty funny to see the kids going over to the incubator from now. They've been going over to the incubator and checking, every 5 minutes if the eggs are hatching yet, which is adorable. And one of my kids told me last night they had a dream where they had chicks in their hair, like making a nest. So that might be the dream. Okay, let's see what we get into today. So I was pretty happy with this bulk Mexican delivery. We do eat a lot of tacos and taco bowls, burritos, nachos, and quesadillas as well. Quesadillas especially is one of those really quick, easy foods that is a crowd pleaser for my family. So I can easily, slap down a tortilla on the pan and just sprinkle some cheese on top, another tortilla on top, and you just flip it and cook it like a grilled cheese sandwich. But it's just a bit of variety and something a bit different for my kids. Something I really like about these tortillas as well is they're really good for long-term storage. So they're actually shelf stable for, I think it was 6 weeks, just in their original packaging. They don't have preservatives or anything like that. They're literally just corn and salt. But it's pretty cool that I can store them like that for 6 weeks. But also I can extend their shelf life if I need to by freezing some of them, which is what I'll be doing. And it will be interesting to see how long this 460 tortillas last us. And I just couldn't resist after getting that Mexican delivery. We have not had corn chips in the house for quite a while. So I'm going to go ahead and make some nachos. And that is something that is really easy to make large for a crowd as well. Now we are still eating through that steer that we had processed about 3 months ago, I guess that was done. So I'm just going to fry up some of that beef mince from the freezer and pop some of these corn chips right over this tray. I love the size of these new stainless steel trays. They are just huge. They can't be that much bigger than the standard oven trays I'd been using for the past decade, but they just feel larger, and they have a higher lip as well, which makes them really useful. I can use them for roasting meats and things like that as well, and it just contains everything. They are great. So I'm going to pop the corn chips on that tray, fry up this beef mince. I'll just add, the typical seasonings, some paprika, some dried onion, some dried garlic, and a little bit of either water or chicken broth, whatever I've got handy at the time. Salt and pepper, of course. And then I'll just try to rustle up some fresh stuff from out of the fridge. Now, we did get those beautiful tomatoes in our last organic veggie box. So I'm going to dice them up into just a salsa. This is like an optional salsa for the top of the nachos. Once I have individually served them to each person, or them served themselves, depending on who it is, then they can decide what toppings they want. And I guess that's a huge part of what makes it such a crowd pleaser in a family, isn't it? I actually just make sure I leave some of the corn chips with just cheese on top. Some of the corn chips will have the cooked beef mince with beans added, and some of the corn chips will just have beef. That way people can choose what their preference is, and I know everybody's going to be fed in the one meal, which is just hitting the goalpost, isn't it, when you're trying to feed lots of little people. So I do find Mexican food is so easy to feed a family a couple of meals a week at least. It's quite frugal. So we can really stretch the amount of beef mince that we use in our Mexican meals. This 1 kilogram pack of beef mince, I only used half of that for this one meal for 8 people. And the rest is now in the fridge, and I can use that to make quick tacos, quesadillas, anything like that. Cold out of the fridge, I can just put it on a tortilla while it's in the pan. Put some grated cheese on top, fold it over in a taco form. I think I shared those tacos in another video with you, which I will link here. Not only is it really simple to have all these ingredients around to hand almost all of the time, but it's really quick and easy to make as well. And these are great beginning meals for any of the younger people in your home who are learning to cook, who enjoy helping you in the kitchen. These are really rewarding meals to help them learn how to cook. As I was putting this together, I was thinking, wow, this is way too much food. I was pretty hungry at this point. I just wanted to make sure there was enough for everybody. But as I said, we only needed 500 grams of beef mince, and we absolutely annihilated these nachos. We ate the whole pan. It was really good, and everybody was content. Everybody was pleased. Now, when I lived closer to a Costco, I know that they actually stock a more traditional Mexican cheese, queso fresco, and you can buy that there. And if you want to have more of, traditional Mexican style dish, that is really tasty over tacos and enchiladas and on top of nachos and things like that. Really good. And of course, you would probably want to add something like, I don't know, coriander, that kind of more herb profile into your salsa. I have to keep my stuff dulled down a little bit for the little people in my house, but I always serve a dish of pickled jalapenos on the side, and that's for people like me who really want it spicy and we want more flavor. But I'm just going to keep it to the side so that I can keep that to myself and have as much or as little as I like. So let me tell you something that is pretty exciting when you live on a farm. Anyway, it's starting to warm up. You can definitely feel spring in the air. This is the first time in a couple of months that I'm managing to fit a daily walk into my routine. So the sunshine is just so warming, so bright. It is lovely right now. And we are having blue, sunny skies and warm. It's not warm yet, but the sunshine is warm. So if you can capture some of that and just go for a walk in that beautiful golden sunshine in the morning, it is so encouraging after a couple of months of the really short days. We haven't had a tough winter, I don't think. And I'm sure there are colder days to come. It is just the very beginning of August now. There will be colder days and it is still cool at night, but the days are longer, there is more sunshine. We've had a little bit of rain, so the grass is starting to grow, and I can't stop thinking about my veggie patch. I am going to be gardening this season for the first time at this property. So we inherited a garden that had some beautiful food growing in it and flowers, and it's got some trees and things like that. But this is the first season that I will be planning what to grow and what my family will eat out of the garden. So I'm considering keeping it really simple and growing like a salad garden this year. So lots of lettuce, spring onions, and tomatoes. And I'm just trying to think, what can I plant that will be really easy for me so I do not have to spend, hours in the veggie patch every day. I don't have tons of time for a garden. And what will be really rewarding for children to grow, and what will a family eat a lot of. So if you are an avid gardener, please feel free to encourage me on this. Leave me some comments as to what will be really rewarding and simple for my family to grow this spring and summer. I really need to start planting seeds and weeding the veggie patch and getting ready for that. Do you enjoy liver pate? Do you eat organ meats? I have to admit, I really got into pate from more of a nutrient density perspective. So after having my children and during all these years of childbirth and pregnancy and encountering a lot of postnatal depletion, I've just done so much research into what my body needs in terms of vitamins and minerals and nutrition, and organs are something that are really up there. So I know that it's pretty common now, or pretty well known, to take liver supplements, which is just dried desiccated liver. And that liver is then it's basically put into a supplement form or placed in a pill, and people just take that as a vitamin, which is an awesome whole food vitamin and a good decision to make. Of course, another way to enjoy that is to include liver in your diet. So when I was doing a recent order with a food farm and just buying half a dozen organic chooks there for my freezer for the next few months, I added on half a kilo of their organic chicken livers, and I decided to give making pate a go. I have not made pate for at least 10 years, probably longer, since I last had a property with some lambs on it and sheep, and we processed those lambs and kept their liver, and I made some lamb's liver pate. So this chicken liver pate is probably not quite as strong in flavor. It's very simple. I basically just pan-fried the chicken livers with some shallots, plenty of butter. There's so much butter in pate, which is really interesting, isn't it? I guess it's that classic French cookery. And added some thyme, garlic, and then just a little bit of brandy, which I had to buy specifically for this recipe, but I thought, hey, it was pretty cheap. It's just a small bottle, so we gave it a go. And pureeing that up with some more butter, salt and pepper, and cream. Then I just covered the top with some clarified butter, and that just seals it in so it doesn't oxidize. And I had to leave this overnight to set and really develop the flavors. And actually, even though it was really good on the first day, now that I've had it on the second day, it's even better. So I think the flavors just continue to develop and it gets nicer with time. So you can have this plain on a plate and it's delicious. You can have it with something like carrots or something fresh, crackers of course, but I decided to just make some sourdough, sort of crouton style bread, just because that's what I have at the moment. Pan frying that with olive oil and a little sprinkle of salt, and then I just sliced some of the pate, and I'm having that for breakfast at the moment. It is so good, and I do actually feel good. I'm sure it's giving me energy. Now, I have managed to convince one of my children to try it, and she liked it. So that's a win. That's great. I'm always going to be glad if I can get that kind of food into my kids. And I mean, if you can combine organ meats with butter and cream and garlic and all these delicious things, that's probably the best way, right? So thanks for joining me today. If you have enjoyed my content, please feel free to like or comment or subscribe, and I would love to see you next time. Bye.